Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another stream that is not bourbon. As you saw by the title and the thumbnail, obviously, tonight we're switching things up a bit. I kind of got dressed for the occasion, lumberjack. Isn't that a Canadian thing? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I promise no jokes or puns as much as possible. I will try to avoid the A's and the sorries and all that. Don't worry. But I'm excited to try some Canadian whiskey. Um, Welcome everyone here. I was just chatting with you guys a little bit before. Don, first time joining my live stream. Really cool guy from Hawaii. Met him at the It's a Bourbon Night meetup. But a big shout out to Peter White, who is the person who gave me these samples. So I've probably been shit talking Canadian whiskey a good bit on my streams, and I feel like he was like, wait, let me give you some good Canadian whiskey. You got to revisit it. So that's what tonight's all about. Um, so Brandon says it's my first time too. No, it's not. Brandon, you're always here. What's up, Brandon, Aaron, Donnie, and Diana? Yeah, good to see all you guys. So I actually want to start off tonight. I wanted to pour Canadian whiskey that I had in my own collection before I tried these. Then I realized I don't own any Canadian whiskey. I have bought a couple of them in the past, and I've been a little less than impressed with them. So I haven't restocked in the Canadian whiskey department, as if my collection is like a department store. It pretty much is with as many bottles as I have. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to try all these. I have not had anything from any of these brands. I think I may have had a JP Weiser's at some point, but it definitely wasn't Cask Strength. So the lineup for tonight, I have it down in the description below. But what we're going to be trying, we're going to start off with two that they're not Cask Strength. They're actually discontinued bottles that are no longer being produced, or at least one of them is. So the first one we're going to be doing tonight is going to be the JP Weiser's Legacy. I'll go into detail about each of these later on. I just want to kind of like tee up what's coming. JP Weiser's Legacy, which is a discontinued one. We have JP Weiser's Dissertation, JP Weiser's 23-year-old Cask Strength. That's pretty cool. Alberta Premium Cask Strength, and Lot 40 Cask Strength. So a lot of Cask Strength whiskeys. So I wanted to start out. No Crown Peach. No. Yeah, I one of the first whiskeys I bought was the Crown Royal Northern Rye, because I heard it was like best whiskey in the world as voted by somebody, and I was disappointed in it. So never had Cask Strength Canadian whiskey. Never had, Canada exclusive Canadian whiskey. That's hard to say. Um, so so I'm so excited to try these, but I wanted to start off with something a little lighter. So since I didn't have any Canadian whiskey, I decided what can I do that's Canadian? So I went with just a good old fashioned using bourbon, but I did put maple syrup in it. So, a little Canadian there. So I wanted to start with something a little lighter because we'll be drinking a lot of Cask Strength stuff later. But what are you guys drinking tonight? Imagine a lot of you bourbon heads out there. That's not a weird say. Don't have much Canadian in your collection, so don't have to drink Canadian with me. But I'm curious, what are you guys drinking tonight? This is a great start, by the way. I've been sipping on this for a while. It's so good. I don't even usually use maple syrup with old fashioned. I usually just use simple syrup, but man, that's real good. I used JTS Brown. This is my bourbon, but Royal Texas Mesquite. I wonder if that's similar to the Balcones Brimstone. It's also it's like Texas brush or something. I don't know exactly what they describe it, but it's also like a super Texas barbecue kind of profile there. I don't have to, although I do kind of want to finish this before I get into the read, because I usually use this as my dump glass. So I want to make sure I drink this all first. So I'm going to take a little slow start out with here. No rush. Canadian whiskey. Usually, so my thing with Canadian whiskey, I'll give you my opinion on it now while I finish my drink. Rebel Yell 100. Good choice, Brandon. I got 2 backup bottles of that. Yeah, so my experience with Canadian whiskey, like I said, I picked up a couple. That Northern Harvest Rye Crown Royal was one of my first. Honestly, no, going back to college days, Crown Royal Regal Apple, the flavored whiskey, was probably my first experience into Canadian whiskey. And I didn't drink it neat. This is before I drank whiskey neat, but that mixed with cranberry juice, that'll be good for the night. So do have experience there with the flavor Canadian whiskeys, but I really, when I started getting really into whiskey, I kind of avoided the Canadian whiskeys, and I think it's because they have a typical lighter flavor profile. Most of them are around 40% ABV, so bare minimum. But I knew that there had to be more to offer, and that's where Peter came in and sent me some Cask Strength options. I am curious, how many of you guys have had Cask Strength Canadian whiskey or above 50% ABV? He says Crown Royal hand selected is over 50%. I haven't had that one. Rebel Yell 100 single barrel. No, I've heard of the 10-year single barrel, but I'm very curious because Rebel Yell 100 is freaking great. I love it. One of my favorite, probably my favorite wheated bourbon, which I know is going to offend some people, like even more than Weller. Maybe not foolproof, but like at that proof point. So Aaron, you've had the Lot 40 Cask Strength. Um, oh, Peter, you mean like the Crown Royal stuff? Yeah, mostly mixers. Yeah, but I that's why I picked up the Northern Harvest Rye because I'm like Crown Royal has to have offer a little more, but even that fell flat for me. Um, yeah, actually, Don mentioned earlier, he may be sending me a bottle of Rebel Yell 10-year, which I'm so excited about. He's also sending some samples, so I'll do another stream like this for Don later in the year whenever it comes. He's shipping from Hawaii, so it'll probably take a while. Yeah, most of you guys haven't had much Canadian. Same here. I really haven't, so that's why I'm excited tonight. But I gotta finish this old fashioned first. It's so good. The first time I had maple syrup in old fashioned, it was like a maple smoked cocktail. So they like did the smoker and everything. Fantastic. I even on a previous stream I did, or there's like a video I produced. I did like a maple bacon old fashioned. I tried to use bacon flavored bourbon. Didn't go so well. But yeah, if you missed that stream, check it out. It was a while back ago. Um, yeah, almost no decent Canadian whiskey leaves this country, and that's exactly why I wanted to do this because one, I want to find a brand that I can attach myself to. I've heard so many good things about Lot 40. We do get some of their stuff, definitely not Cask Strength, um, but a lot of these brands I've never had, and I want to find like my go-to Canadian whiskey tonight. So, and then I may hit you up, Peter. Like I may buy some bottles from you. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so I had to eat my cherry though, because who just leaves a cherry in the glass? These are expensive cherries. Oh, Jason, what's up? Cheers. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, so Jason, what is your experience with Canadian whiskey? I am curious. I feel like I haven't seen Canadian whiskey on your channel, but I could be wrong. Um, Luxardo, yes. They're not that expensive. I buy them on Amazon. Oh, Guy, what's up? You guys are all coming in right in time. I just finished my little intro drink. It was a old fashioned, but with maple syrup because I don't have any Canadian whiskey other than these samples. So yeah, let's clear my palate because I don't want that cherry influencing my opinion on these. Benny's gets everything. We have a friend. He's not in the chat, but Eric, who lives in Chicago, who may need to hit us up after that. But that's exciting. Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, I feel like people dismiss Canadian whiskey in the entire like bourbon community. I know I have, but I think we're not getting the good stuff. So we're about to try some good stuff. So the one I want to start with is the lowest proof one because I don't want to jump straight into Cask Strength. I was going to show you the sample bottle, but I don't have a way to share a photo with you guys. If you look at the thumbnail, there's a photo of this bottle. It's called J.P. Weiser's Legacy. Now, this is a discontinued bottling. I think it's from 2017. It's like a limited release one every year thing. Or not every year thing, once a year thing. This is in tribute to the final recipes of J.P. Weiser's founder, J.P. Weiser. What it is a blend. It's a blended rye whiskey and made from a combination of unmalted rye grain, rye malt, barley malt, all distilled in copper pot stills. So the thing with Canadian whiskey, I know the controversy with a lot of these is they can call themselves rye whiskey, and literally there's a way that they can call themselves a rye whiskey and have 0% rye. It's kind of crazy. I learned that because I was like researching the Northern Harvest Rye. Their rules and regulations are not nearly as strict as the U.S. So just so you guys are aware, if you see something called a rye whiskey, it's not going to probably taste like your Bullet or your Michter's Rye or whatever. Um, Yeah, open to trying new whiskey. That's what I'm all about. I mean, there's some whiskey channels out there that are like, oh, I stick strictly to bourbon and I don't venture outside of it, which is fine. That's your thing. Do it. But I like to explore a bit. I mean, I explored Scotch a bit, and Aaron, if he's still in the chat, he knows I've opened up to Scotch. I literally went to a Scotch tasting with him on Tuesday. I got to try a bunch of different independent bottlings from this one company. I forgot the name of it, but we tried some like Lagavulin. We tried some. I don't remember. I had the list in front of me, but a lot of different, both a mix of peated and non-peated Scotch whiskey. So I'm open to experimenting. Um, Only one distillery does that, and don't get caught up in the tradition. It's old news mostly. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so Jason has had Lot 40 Cask Strength, Little Book 2. Oh, that's a good point. I did have Little Book 2, which was a mix of Canadian whiskey. Wiser's and Pike Creek. Pike Creek I bought because it was on sale. Um, it was literally like less than $20, and it was the finished one. It was like wine finish. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was super cheap. It was like $13, I think. Got it. I was like, you know what? I'm excited to try it. It let me down. And I don't know. I feel like every Canadian whiskey has let me down. So that's why. So these are totally my unfiltered thoughts. Yes, Peter, you're in the chat. And yes, you're Canadian. So I hope I don't offend you with any like of my commentary. But this is coming from a bourbon drinker's perspective, someone that's really new to Canadian whiskey. So if I don't particularly like a certain one, doesn't mean I'm going to always hate it. I may just need to revisit it. Like with Scotch. Yeah. The dark side. Um, yeah, it just takes me a while to get into it, but I think you sent me some really solid options, and again, I'm super thankful for Peter. You guys give him some love. He's awesome. Brandon's venturing out to Irish whiskey. Good choice. Brandon, next time you're over, which may be Saturday, we gotta figure out plans. I got a lot of red breasts. I have a lot of red breasts to show you. That sounds weird. But yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and pour this JP Weiser's Legacy. So this, he wrote on here, it's about a 10-year age statement. It's not age stated, but it's approximately 10 years old. 61% corn, 33% rye, and 6% barley. Cool. So let's go ahead and pour this. Oh, Brian, what's up? Pendleton 1910. I recognize the name, but I don't know what that is. What is Pendleton 1910? Please enlighten us, Brian. Yeah, so Brandon, that's the thing with Irish whiskey. Almost so much of it is made by Middleton Distillery that makes Redbreast, Jameson. God, there's a whole list of whiskeys they make. But you know what? I think they all have unique flavor profiles. So I'm not against that. It's just like, it's kind of weird. Like, especially like for us in America, we have our Jim Beams and our Heaven Hills and stuff. So Canadian rye. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Brian, cheers. Thank you for joining with the Canadian theme. I don't want to drink the whole sample. I want to save a little bit. Green Spot's Middleton too. I was gonna say, like, is it? But the thing is, I think Green Spot has such a different flavor profile from Redbreast. I think it's like opposite ends of the spectrum. So maybe they're doing something different with the Green Spot. I'm sure they are. But that's weird. I honestly didn't know that Green Spot also came from Middleton. Oh, that's crazy. And Aaron, did you go to Middleton when you went to Scotland? Or no, you didn't go to Scotland. You went to Ireland. You went to Scotland. Middleton's in Ireland. Sorry. Brandon, he may be coming out already. We'll see. Look at me, like stupid American doesn't know his countries. Okay. So this is the JP Weiser's Legacy. And the proof on it is 45%. First of all, it smells very, it smells light on the nose, but not quite as light as some of the Canadian whiskeys I've had. So none of, like, Crown Royal is so light. It's like water. Honestly, Crown Royal is drinking water. Yeah, really light. And again, I may struggle a bit with the notes on this because I'm so unfamiliar with Canadian whiskey. So please forgive me if I don't hit the right flavor notes on these. I do have reviews pulled up for each of these, so I may scroll down and cheat a little and see what other people say about them. Mainly I pulled it up so I can pull up the statistics about them, but barrel rye 13 years Canadian. Oh, interesting. I honestly, I don't have much experience with barrel I guess, are they a distillery? As a company, because they do a lot of sourcing, so. Yes, like all bourbon tastes the same. Like not all bourbon tastes the same. Not all Canadian tastes the same. That's true, and I think so. But you guys know, like when people are first getting into whiskey, when they drink whatever it is, bourbon, Scotch, or whatever, they think they all taste the same. Like at the very beginning. I mean, I was like that. I was like, caramel, vanilla, which again, yeah, bourbon has caramel and vanilla, but there once you get more into it and get more experience, you get a lot of those nuances. So I may not be able to pull out those nuances, but I'm going to try to use my experience with bourbon and rye. I'm a huge rye fan, like American rye. So if I can pull out those notes, I will be a happy camper, or I was trying to happy lumberjack, whatever. I told you guys I wasn't gonna do the jokes. Sorry, I don't even have any jokes on hand, but okay. On the nose, it smells really good. It smells very light, not in terms of like low alcohol content, but like a bright fruitiness, like a bright like melon note. I would say like a melon or a. It's kind of citrusy. It's almost like a what is that? Yuzu, that Asian fruit. We make yuzu tea here often. I get a bit of that like really light citrus, but not like quite lemon or lime. The difference between Lot 40 Cask Strength and Alberta Premium Cask Strength is night and day. Good, because I put those next to each other. So I'm glad I decided to do this. Try side by. I need to slow down. Try those side by side. I don't know why I'm trying to rush through these. Like, I'm new to this Canadian whiskey, so I'm gonna need to slow it down a little bit. Juan says, "Oh, Juan, what's up? I don't know if I said hi already. My wife got me Pendleton for my birthday. Do not like it. Yeah, I'm really trying to. This is my chance to give it a chance. That makes no sense, but okay. I promise I haven't had a single drink before that old fashioned, so I think I don't know. Today's been very stressful and annoying, and honestly, I need a drink, and I'm glad to drink with you guys. So, cheers to the JP Weiser's legacy and whatever's in your glass." Okay, there's a note that I'm liking there. At first, I was getting that traditional thing that I get with like a Crown Royal. I picked up a Canadian Club, 12 year that I thought was gonna be really good, but it wasn't. And this at first reminded me of that, but then this kind of does blossom and it gets a little Irishy. Brandon, you're talking about Irish whiskey. Yeah, it's almost, but like it's different than like a shortbread cookie. It's almost like a. I almost want to. Okay, this is gonna sound weird because I'm a Southerner. Okay, kind of tastes like a buttered biscuit, like not like a cookie, but a biscuit. I almost get like a buttery note there that I've never gotten on a Canadian whiskey. So I'm gonna try it again. The mouthfeel at first feels a little oily, but I think the finish is actually really nice on this one. Um, it does remind me the most of like an American rye, but it doesn't taste like 100% rye or anything like that. It's I don't know. I really do like the mouthfeel on that one. And it's very, I mean, drinkable, not drinkable in like a boring kind of way, but like I actually do really enjoy this. And that 45% ABV, I mean, that's even not common for Canadian whiskey. It's almost everything like 40, 42, 43%. So 45 is already kind of pushing it a bit. So I'm going to scroll down before I take this final sip. I'm going to scroll down to see what this review said about it. They said big, bold nose. I agree. Caramel, vanilla, honey, candied cinnamon, citrus, and dried banana chips. Okay, so I got the citrus. I was right there. Oh, what's up? Oak and Smoke Whiskey Reviews. Thanks for stopping in yet again. We're doing Canadian whiskey. Wait, yeah, I'm going to ask you. Have you done much Canadian whiskey on your channel? I don't remember seeing it. I feel like a lot of people don't really do it. I don't really do it. But if you've done reviews of any Canadian whiskey, let me know. I'll go check it out after the stream because I'm trying to find like all these like standard YouTubers, Mash and Drum, you guys, like Whiskey Crusaders. I'm trying to find other Canadian whiskey reviews and I cannot find very many of them. So if you did, shoot me a message after. I would love to check it out and hear your thoughts. Yeah, so the notes are pretty basic. I mean, this review is just talking about like the vanilla caramel, creamy. Oh, they do talk about the mouthfeel though, creamy mouthfeel. I agree with that. Yeah. Okay. So at least that tells me because all these are from the same website. Their notes are very basic, but you know what? No discredit to them. It just doesn't really help me in trying to like explore a little bit more. So yeah, I mean, I do really enjoy this, honestly. Yeah, I think it's way more complex than a Crown Royal for sure. Unfortunately, this is a discontinued product, so I can't really recommend you guys go out and buy a bottle of it. Um, I was trying to see if there was a price listed, what they paid for it. I don't quite see a price. Peter, if you're still around, what was the price of the Legacy? Just out of curiosity, because I do want to try to give that info out to people that maybe in Canada may still see a bottle of it. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that's a very, very, I mean, it's great intro whiskey, honestly. And it's a great one to start the night with. $50 Canadian. Forgive me, what's the exchange rate? Like, it's about like what? Is it like 70 US dollars, or am I the wrong way? Is it like 30 US dollars? I've been thinking so much about pesos lately because we're planning a couple trips to Mexico later this year, so I've been thinking in that lately. But Brian, I haven't had a chance to try the Crown Royal Peach, but hey, I'm not the biggest peach fan. Sorry, correction. I'm not the biggest peach flavored fan. Love fresh peaches, but anything like peach flavored candy. Okay, I went the wrong way, Peter. Sorry about that. Yeah, $38. Okay, you know what? Hey, that's really good. I mean, I know you guys pay a good bit more for like American, like, or sorry, I knew I would say that at some point. I would say American whiskey, but like that's messed up because you guys are America too. United States whiskey. Are you guys offended by that? Wait, as a Canadian in the room, Peter, are you guys offended when I say American whiskey and I'm talking about United States? I feel like you probably are, right? Joseph, what's up? Joseph, I feel like you haven't had much experience with Canadian whiskey, have you? Well, I don't know. You're like up there. You're like borderline Canada, basically, where you guys are. Um, yeah, I do not dislike that one bit, and that's saying something for someone that doesn't know much about um, Canadian whiskey. So let's stick with the same family. That's the order I decided to go in. So we start with the J.P. Weiser's Legacy. We are moving to the J.P. Weiser's Dissertation. Now this one, I read this story about it. It's really interesting. This was a 2018 release, so I think they release one of these a year. It's like their special edition, their Rare Cask series. Which someone just mentioned Rare Cask series. What was it? Peter says he needs the Rare Perfection 15 year. That's what he was saying. Okay. Crappy Italian whiskey. Yeah. Why did I say Italian? Crappy Canadian whiskey. Yes. I'm very familiar with that. But this night is already off to a good start, so I may completely change my opinion on Canadian whiskey thanks to Peter. Dissertation was a one-off. Gotcha. So this was a one-off from 2018, I believe. So I didn't tell you guys the story. I said it's like I literally set it up. I was like, this one has a really interesting story. Okay, let's drink it. No, so the story about this is their master blender at J.P. Weiser's is actually he has a PhD. So this was actually his dissertation, like his experiment he did while he was in school. In 2012, he earned his PhD. So what he was looking into was the quantification of oak wood extractives via gas chromo. What? Okay, that's a really long freaking title. Basically, he was exploring how different sizes of wood and different types of wood affected a whiskey, or maybe the gas or the chromatography, whatever. Anyways, so he started this study back in 2005 when these casks were filled. But once he got his PhD, he decided to release these products as a whiskey. So he actually blended the whiskeys that he had been studying for years for his dissertation and released them to the public. I think that's really, really freaking cool. Um, yes. Dr. Don Livermore, the savior of Canadian whiskey. There you go. I'm not familiar with the name, but he obviously must be a very, very well-regarded person. So let's go ahead and pour this in the glass. Now the proof on this one is just a little bit above the J.P. Weiser's Legacy. This one is 46.1% ABV, which apparently is the molecular weight of ethanol, a nod to chemistry geeks out there. I totally knew that. Just kidding. Oh, it's been on with Trinity C. Oh, really? Honestly, I I feel bad because like when I watch them and I see they do a Canadian whiskey, I just don't watch it because I'm like, I can't get that here anyway, so screw it. But no, I love their videos too. Big fan of their channel. Um, Sipping on Longmorn 16 year. I have not had that one. Oh, is my volume low? Thank you for letting me know, Chris. Let me. Is that a little better? I can go up to like there. Tell me if it's too loud though. If it's too loud, sorry about that. I did turn it down a little bit because when Brandon was here, he was a little loud. Sorry, Brandon. Oh, on the nose, it's very similar, but there's way more of that like baked good note that I really really love about whiskey. Yeah, I mean, I honestly I feel like I can tell the higher proof too, even though it's only like 1.1% more. The nose on this like is giving off way more ethanol. But no, I definitely prefer the nose on this one over the Legacy. So let's go ahead and try it. Cheers. Yeah, there's a little bit more bite there, even though it's only like slightly higher proof. Now, this one is a 12-year one, so that's probably what it is. I forgot to mention that. This is a 12-year-old. The other one was about 10-year-old. 87% rye and distillation, plus it's older. Yeah, I just realized that you wrote 12-year. That age does really help that. And, you know, I almost thought, like, is age a gimmick of Canadian whiskey? Because I've had some, like, older Canadian whiskeys that I'm like, it doesn't really taste that old. Almost so is Scotch. Like, a Scotch, like, there's, like, a 30, or not 30, exaggerating a bit, 21-year-old Scotch. And I'm like, I don't really get the age on it, but that's because they use used barrels. Canada's probably the same way. But I can tell you from about a 10-year age statement to a 12-year age statement, there is a lot of difference there. Henry Clay Stalk Cut. Oh, it's like a cigar. I'm not familiar with cigars. By the way, thank you guys. 17 viewers. You guys are awesome. 5 likes. If you guys are checking out the stream, love you get the like button. I know, like it's weird to shout that out, but like I love getting you guys feedback. If you're liking it, if you're not liking it, you know what, you can dislike it, but like, why would you do that? Anyways, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're new here, I do go live every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Mostly reviewing bourbon, but I venture out with Scotch and Irish and Canadian. I like to mix things up a bit, so that's what tonight's all about. Thanks to Peter, who has kindly sent these samples over. So, if you're interested, please subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Just catching up with the chat. Oh, Whistlepig, good. I do not have Whistlepig on hand. I have tried Whistlepig. I actually went to a tasting event and they pulled out like, like if you guys ever went to like a whiskey event where the distilleries are there and there's like multiple distilleries, sometimes they have like a hidden bottle under the counter. I got Whistlepig to do that, and they pulled out I forgot exactly what it was, but it was one of their higher ends, not like Boss Hog or anything, but they brought out a higher end whiskey, tried it, fell in love. So Whistlepig does some really great things. Thank you, Steven, for stopping in randomly and leaving a like. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, catch the replay if you're interested. You're in New York. You're near Canada. Yeah. Okay, so excuse what you guys are talking about. Yeah, no, I am digging this one. To be honest though, I can't fully tell many different flavor notes from the first one we had, the Legacy. But I like it a little bit more. What do you guys think? Or Peter, is that normal to like this one a little bit more? No Whistlepig. No, I don't have Whistlepig, and I should have a Whistlepig. That's a good point. I'm a huge rye fan. You guys know that. I love rye whiskey. No, on the nose, I'm going back to the nose. Yeah, I'm honestly, I feel like I'm really bad at I'm bad at nosing whiskey in general, but Canadian whiskey just like amplifies that. Special barrel aged gin under the table. That was awesome. Yeah, that's the thing. You just gotta, honestly, I've noticed at those events, not that you have to like sweet talk them, but honestly, if you just talk to them, say like, hey, I'm a whiskey lover, haven't tried your brand, I'd love to explore more. Sit there, like, don't just take your sample and be like, thank you, and walk off. Sit there, sip on it, and be like, oh, I really like these notes. Then they'll be like, oh, if you like that one, here's our little special bottle. So definitely encourage you guys to do that. Don't just go there and just like take the sample and walk off. I was that person. I was too embarrassed to have a conversation early on, but I've learned you just sit there. You don't have to like small talk. Just like try it in front of them and give your feedback. Don't just be like it's good, but be like, oh, I like this about it, and then they'll open up to you. One of the higher rated non-cask strength whiskeys. Very interesting. I am a very big fan of this. Still very bright. There's, I don't want to. Okay, this is gonna sound weird. There's like a note on there that's like not metallic. Maybe it's like what people call shiny. It's like a very bright. It's almost like a copper note. Like I know that's not. It's not totally like copper, like off-putting. But it's a very bright. Wait, honestly, wait. Copper pot still. Is that the copper pot still note? I never made that connection before now, but there's like a metallic, a little bit of a metallic like tinge right there on the beginning of it. But it's not enough to make me not drink it. It's still really good. It's just a little bit something there that's I've noticed on a lot of Canadian whiskeys that I've never been able to place it, like what it is. Or I could just be crazy, and you guys just listen to me ramble about that. By the way, thank you guys for all the likes. Got up to 9 now. That's awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, I do like that one. I don't know. I would say like I like it that much more than the Legacy, but I do enjoy it. Now the price on that one's listed as 65 Canadian, so about 50-ish. I'm probably wrong. 50-ish American. American. There I go again. Peter, did you ask me earlier about if that's offensive to say American? I may have missed your answer earlier. U.S. dollars. My bad. Only place you can get with Dissertation is Whiskey Exchange. Gotcha. Metallic often comes up in young grain whiskey that is aged in used barrels. Interesting, Chris. That's really... I've never actually noticed that note. But yeah, it's a little... And you know... I actually probably have, because I always get that bright note with really young scotch. So maybe it's a similar thing there. No, I'm American. I just feel bad because I'm talking about American whiskey, but like North America, Canada's still North America, so I feel like guilty every time I say like, oh, but in American whiskey, it's not this way. What's up, lover girl? Good to see you again. I saw your comment the other day. Or is my live stream, actually. So we're about ready to move on to some cask strength stuff. I don't know about you guys. Do you guys have anything cask strength you guys want to drink with me tonight? Because I know it's only Thursday, but tomorrow's Friday, so I think that's a pretty good excuse. So, yeah. So let's move on to probably the most expensive one of the night, but I put it next because it's also JP Weiser's. Cask Strength is like a great plan. Glad you're with me, Brian. Do the Weiser's first, as it's only 10% rye. I guess you gave me that info. That's interesting. Okay. That was the plan, not because it's 10% rye. Does Rare Breed count as Cask Strength? Honestly, anything above 110... No, not even 110. Anything above 110 proof is like Cask Strength in my book. So Pikesville, not technically, but yeah. So, yes, Rare Breed counts. Brandon, no more Cask Strength bottles open on. Oh, that just means you gotta drink double your non-Cask Strength bottles, right? God, I'm a bad influence. Oh, so you guys, I think I maybe... I don't want to announce it and be wrong. I may be doing a dry week next week. It's been honestly too long since I've done a dry week, and I feel like I need to. So, to be determined if I'm going to go live next Thursday, but I will be... If I don't go live, I have a video that I've already filmed that I may upload. It's a pretty special one. It's a Old Fits. Not the one that Brandon has. It's a different Old Fits I got a sample of. So, be on the lookout for that or a live stream next week. I'm still debating. Because I'm hanging out with a lot of friends this week, and I feel bad, like, doing a dry week. So we'll see if we do a dry week. Brandon, so the thing is... Okay, Brandon, I'll tell you. Hanging out with you on Saturday, likely. Sunday, I'm going to the casino with my other friends here. And I know they have some rare whiskey. So, like, I don't want to like start a dry week on a Sunday and then like have to go through another weekend. That sounds really bad, and that's obviously not building my case. Um, so I may, if I do a dry week, I'll start it on Monday and go through the following Monday. I just don't want to do 2 weekends for no reason, you know. So yeah, we'll see about that. But Brandon, I will let you know for sure. Stay moist. Yeah, no, I honestly, I I haven't tried to do a dry week. I mean, not that like I haven't tried, but it's just like I feel like now's a good time for me to be like, okay, it's the beginning of the year. You need to do like a once a month reset. So I figured it'll be good to try that next week. We'll see. But for now, until then, let's drink some whiskey. Oh, Brian, so jealous. We got Larceny Barrel Proof, but we have not got Elijah Craig yet. The A120. Yeah, you guys are not the best people to ask for advice on this. I get it. No, but like I think I need that. I just don't know. I want to time it strategically because I still want to be able to stream for you guys. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. Okay, time for some more Canadian whiskey. Jumping up and let me read you guys the details on this one. So this one, 23 years old. This is legit. This is 23-year-old Cask Strength. Like, I don't think I've ever had anything that old at Cask Strength. Scotch, it's never released Cask Strength at that age. Bourbon, obviously, like that's old for bourbon. But again, bourbon is new casks. 23 years old. It is a blend. And let's see if there's any other useful info. 64.3% ABV. So they used to release 35-year-old bottlings. This is kind of like a downgrade for them. But I'm really excited to try it. Now the price on this guy right here is $150 Canadian. So I guess 110-ish US dollars. Oh god, I'm really bad about that. Sorry. Thank you. By the way, lover girl, what's your name? I want to call you by name. I appreciate that. You're a long-time viewer. Do you even like whiskey? Or are you just watching because it's me? If you don't like whiskey, that's cool too. But if you're curious about it, happy to help like introduce you to it. Obviously, you wouldn't jump right into these Cask Strength options. Obviously, they're strong. But if you're curious, I can offer some great recommendations. Crystal. Well, great to meet you. So on the nose, this one's a good bit different. The proof is there. It's kind of jumping a little bit out of the glass, but also you don't drink. Okay, no problem. Again, hey, I enjoy hanging out with you, so thank you for stopping in. Brandon, his girlfriend, well, I guess she drinks like vodka, but she also doesn't drink whiskey, so she'll just like smell his whiskey like, oh, I smelled this, this, and this, but I won't drink it. So yeah, on the nose, honestly, it smells a good bit different. I would honestly guess it's a different distillery based on the nose, but there's almost some grassy notes there. Like the grassiness I get on like a American rye, or freaking United States rye. I'm sorry. He says I have another Cask Strength non-Canadian that destroys every Elijah Craig barrel proof ever bottled. That's true, Peter. Peter sent me another sample, and oh shit, Brandon, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry, your wife. I'm sorry. Sorry, Francesca. I'll get the corn on this one. Okay, good to know. Ooh. This is my first time trying Cask Strength Canadian whiskey, you guys. I'm having a moment here. Ooh. I dig it. You know, it's going to sound weird, but I guess it kind of makes sense. This almost gives me like white dog notes. Like you literally just told me, Peter, you'll get the corn on this. This almost drinks like, I have a Buffalo Trace white dog that I just opened, and this reminds me a lot of it. Obviously, there's more to it than just like the corn, but that corn note though, and the brightness is still there. The brightness from the first two is still there. Whew. Honestly, I don't think the nose really sells this. I think the taste really, really comes through. Mouthfeel, Best I've had. Taste, best I've had. So, this is what the fuck? I completely forgot that it was a 23-year-old whiskey. It's pretty bad. Is that bad that I literally just said a 23-year-old whiskey tastes like White Dog? Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking it was like a 12-year. Whew. So, let me revisit that with the thought. This is 20. This is literally my age minus 3. So I was 3 years old when this whiskey came out. Holy crap. That's incredible. I love trying older whiskeys. That mouthfeel, I think the mouthfeel shows the age more than anything. Super rich, super creamy. Obviously the best thing I've tried all night. That, it almost, okay, Peter, is this weird? It almost drinks like a older rum. Some of these guys have tried to get me into rum, and it has that sweetness that almost like not artificial, but there's like a really sugary sweetness that I get in a lot of older rums. I'm getting a little bit of that there. Is it normal to like get similar notes to rum? I don't know if you're a rum guy, but yeah, that's true, Brandon. It does age differently, and also it's used barrels most likely. So, no, I completely get behind this. I do want to leave a little bit in my glass because I want to do a comparison. Well, no, I'll wait till the end. I do want to compare the 3 different cask strengths. This one probably not because I'll never get another bottle of this. But no, I'm a huge fan. Yeah, Donnie, one comment on that. I am so excited if I ever actually see it. Never tried Blanton's Gold. I've tried Blanton straight from the barrel. Ugh, my heart. It steals it. But if I see it in America if I see it in the United States for that retail price, $120, I'd definitely pick up a bottle. The sweetness is rum like. Yeah, okay, so I'm not completely off the mark. Thank you, Don. Yeah, please first of all get home safely, and then pour something to drink. If I usually only stream for an hour, so you probably won't be home by the time while I'm still streaming. But you can always watch the replay. So, but cheers. That's true. I mean, yeah. In the U.S., things get over oaked really easily. I think a lot of people think Knob Creek is over oaked. Personally, I love that, so I'm not offended by it. But yeah, with new oak, you got to be real careful with those older ones. Totally down for that, Brandon. Time to move on to. I'm running out of time. I might go a little bit over time tonight, you guys. I really am trying to take my time with these guys. So, Donnie, then even better, hang out with us. Maybe I'll do maybe we can like Skype you in and like we can all do them all together. We'll see. Maybe if you want to be on camera, you don't have to be on camera, but if you're interested, let us know. So we are moving on to. Sorry, the cask strength that's hitting me. So we're moving on to Alberta Premium Cask Strength, 130.2 proof. Yeah, that's enough for now. Joseph with the super chat. I don't have a bottle to chug for you. Last time I remember you super chatted me and you super chatted me not to chug it. So thank you, Joseph. Really appreciate it. I always feel weird. Like I don't want to ask for super chats. I'm still trying to figure out like a Patreon situation. I don't know quite if I want to do it. I don't want to feel like one of those people that I don't know, over promises or whatever, but I do appreciate a super chat every now and then. So cheers to Joseph. I feel weird cheersing you with Canadian whiskey, but hey, let's do it. Cheers to Joseph. No chugs. Okay. I have not had Pappy 23. Brandon was fortunate to have it last weekend. I'm so jealous. Ooh, I'm liking this nose right now. Hold on. The nose in the Alberta Premium, I have some info on it. That smells really good. Hold on. 100% rye. Maybe that's why I really like this. It's It doesn't really even smell like a rye though. It's there. There's like a candied, not like licorice, but there's something there that's a little something that's very. I like it. It's in my mind, but I can't tell you what it tastes like or smells like. That smells really, really good. I'm digging this nose on this Alberta Premium, and I've never had an Alberta Premium product. So the JP Weisers, I think I've had like one of their products. This one I've never had any of their products. So that smells fantastic. Although this is like a weird note, so don't judge me for this note. It almost smells like. Why am I getting this note? It almost smells like a club. Like no, like literally like a dance club or something. That's weird, right? Like, or a casino. Like, if you guys have been to Vegas, that sounds really weird, but it's like a floral, perfumey sweetness on the nose. I don't dislike it, but I get like I don't know, I get like a perfume, a really strong perfume note. Mango. That's a good point, Peter. I do get that for sure. Donnie, yeah, I'm thinking about the Patreon. Yeah, I'll look into that, Donnie. The whole reason I wouldn't start with $1 is because they literally tell you on the website, hey, don't start with $1. They're trying to change it up because they say if you start with $1, you will only get like 20 cents. But if you start with $2, you'll get like $1.30 or whatever. So I may start at $2 or $3, but we'll figure it out. I'll definitely offer something. I like the donation. Yeah, Brian. Hey, see you guys in Vegas. You guys need to hit up Monica because she hasn't responded to that event invite. So, you guys need to get her on board with this. So, Juan says, I think in Canada they can call anything a Canadian rye. Am I right? Yeah, that's what I was commenting on earlier. That's what I was saying. Like some things could be called a rye and it could literally have 0% rye in it. It's so freaking weird. I don't understand. Okay, let's go ahead and taste that. I've only been smelling it, but it smells like a casino, and that's not a bad note. I like casinos, as you guys know. I'm actually going to a casino on Sunday, and then later this week later this month, later in March, I'm going to Vegas. So, I'm a fan of casinos. Joseph, you're coming to Vegas, right? We like our favorite casino in Vegas is Cosmopolitan. It's expensive to stay there, but we always gamble there. So. Yeah, please do, Brian. I really do want them to answer. I would love to meet both of them, so thank you. Okay, cheers to the Alberta Premium. Have I already tried this? We'll see. I haven't. Oh, that's hot. That drink's hot. What's the proof on that? 130 proof? Yeah, I can taste it. Oh, that's hot. But that's more traditional rye. I get it, 100% rye. That is a rye. Whew, that's good. Honestly, I really could not distinguish this between like a high proof, like I'm trying to think, what's it equivalent? Like a well, Bullet's not really high proof, but like a Kentucky Owl rye. I think this is on par with that. Now this is 4 to 6 years old. The Jockey Club next to the Cosmopolitan. Interesting. I may need to check that out. I go to Vegas like literally like once every quarter. Like I go so often living out here in Southern California. Yeah, I do dig the nose on this. It's very similar to the JP Weisers. Very corn forward. But the taste is all rye. As a rye fan, I appreciate this. Oh, like it a lot. But to be fair, I'm trying to find a Canadian flavor profile that I gravitate towards. That one, if I was in Canada, I'd be like, yeah, I'd buy this all day. But for me to go to Peter and be like, hey, send me a bottle of Alberta Premium, it just doesn't work out. So if you like rye whiskey and you're in Canada, this Alberta, I keep showing you guys this, like you can pick up the bottle. Alberta Premium Cask Strength. If you love good, expensive rye whiskey, totally recommend this. Now this one's cheap. This one's like $65 Canadian. I'd buy this all day for that price. I absolutely love it. Brian just got back from Vegas on Sunday. See, Vegas just has something about it. It draws you in. Brandon, you're still going to make it to Vegas, right? Someone can't. I think it was Ian that canceled. They couldn't make it. But by the way, if any of you guys are interested in meeting me up in Vegas, let me know. Because in September, Labor Day weekend, there's going to be a big group of us bourbon drinkers there and Canadian whiskey drinkers. So let me know if you're interested. I'll send you an invite. But sorry, Peter, I missed your message. There's a long history of the word rye in Canada, and it started with the U.S. telling the Canadian distilleries to put that rye flavoring in your whiskey. Oh, interesting. Am I trying to tell you? No, sorry, Brandon. I thought maybe you may have canceled on the Vegas trip. No, please go. I was thinking of Ian, who said he couldn't make it. Sorry, my bad. Yes, please go. So ADL MGP of the North. Interesting. That's actually really interesting because you guys know I'm a big fan of MGP rye. Honestly, Dickel rye, I'll buy it all day, every day. $15, $17. I love Dickel rye. So, and this Dickel rye is MGP, by the way. So that's interesting. I do really do dig this. But like I'm saying, if you're in Canada and you can find this, buy it. Absolutely buy it if you like a rye. But for me to like get it from Canada, it's probably a little expensive. So, oh Brian, that's awesome. I'll cheers to you with my next pour. In Vegas, honestly, we don't usually end up. We just end up breaking even some of the time. Probably most of the time, but I always have fun every time I go to Vegas, So, we have one more Canadian whiskey to try tonight. I might make it on time. This is the one, honestly, that I've been wanting to try the most. And that's just because so many people have recommended this brand. This is Lot 40 Cask Strength. It is a 12-year-old Canadian whiskey, 110 proof. Oh, Brian. Okay, you're going to get another cheers. I didn't even cheers you yet. Okay, I'll cheers you for that. Bet big to win big. I'm more of those, like, max bet, but, like, on the penny slots. So, you'll see. I love slot. I watch... This is, like, a weird, like, I almost said fetish. Weird obsession, but, like, there's a whole community on YouTube for, like, slot machines, and I watch it all the time. I'm so enamored by it. Okay, we're gonna cheers Brian because he is awesome. We're gonna cheers him with the one I'm looking forward to the most tonight. Holy shit! Wait, Peter. I see your. Wait, no, never mind. I see your little note over here that says 25 year, but I think that's covered up on purpose. I think that was whatever this previous bottle was. I was about to be like, holy shit, 25 years old. I assume this is not a 25-year-old. But if it is, let me know. Oh, I love the Buffalo game. It was like, Buffalo! I love that game. It sucks, though, because I hardly ever get a bonus round on that one. But, yeah, we are big slot fans. I mean, Justin, too. When we go to Vegas, we will be on the slots all day. Oh, my God. I can just imagine a group of us sipping on our bourbons, like, from the cocktail waitress, literally watching someone play a slot machine. That sounds like the best time. I'm so excited. Okay, so it was not the 25 year. Thank you for the clarification. I just want to be like, I was like, that's just like, holy crap. Okay, so this smells like a rye too. Let me go to the page to get some little info on it. Yeah, so 12 years old, 100% rye whiskey. So it's gonna be very similar to the last one. I want to do a side by side with these before I leave tonight. And this one is, what's the proof on this one? 110 proof. Okay, so up there, not quite as high as some of these other ones. So maybe it'll be a little bit more of like, a little more easy to handle. So Sorry, Donnie, I missed your message. Casino that's refusing to pay out 8.5 million jackpot on a slot machine. I feel like casinos do that all the time. They're like, oh, there was a glitch. I also have very strong opinions about that because you should honor what you tell people you're giving them. So it is, Brian. It really is. Okay, so cheers, you guys. This is the Lot 40 Cask Strength, the one that I was looking forward to trying the most. So cheers. Peter, I saw your message right when I was drinking it. More like your MGP with the dill. Richie, what's up? You're making it right in the last 3 minutes of my stream. Might go a little over time, but yeah, Richie, I actually am curious to know what is your experience with Canadian whiskey, because mine was like, I wouldn't say zilch, it wasn't zero, but I had only tried Canadian Club and Crown Royal. So, Richie, what's your experience with? I literally just said that. It's the end of my stream. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm curious to know what your experience is, because you obviously are very go over time. I don't have any extra whiskeys to drink. I have more of each of these, but so Peter, going back to this, very, very MGP rye-ish. I love MGP rye. That's the thing, Donnie. They say that. I don't know. It's a little sketchy. I've never experienced them out. Okay, wait. No, I actually have. I was playing a machine once, and it literally, I was spinning, and it literally went black. And I got like a boot screen, like a. It didn't say Windows. I don't know what it said, but it was like, like a boot screen on your computer. And it just kept looping back and forth, and it would do that, and it'd be like loading, like it's like a command prompt. And then it would like black out again, and then the boot screen, and the command prompt, and then black out again. It was crazy. And I had like $130 in the machine. So I had to call over the service assistant. And they're very prompt in Vegas. They will come right over. But he was like really annoying at first. He was like, oh, it'll reboot, it'll be fine. Because he saw the boot screen, he was like, oh, it'll reboot, it'll be fine. I was like, I've been sitting here for 10 minutes. It's been doing this loop over and over and over again. He's like, oh, well, how much money did you have in the machine? So I was like, could I lie and be like, oh, I had just like, like 600 or 700 in it. I didn't. I was very truthful because I knew exactly how much I had, because I was looking at it right before it crashed. So like I had 132 or whatever it was, and he literally just like paid me out in cash and gave it to me, and like I walked away. I could have lied to you guys. I was like, damn, if I would have said like I had like 247 in there, but I didn't lie. Anyways, that's my Vegas story. Let's go back to the Cask Strength version of Lot 40. So Peter, if you're still here, sorry for ranting about Vegas. Is Lot 40, are all of their releases the same high rye mash bill, this MGP-ish rye? That's the thing, Donnie. I was scared they would come after me afterwards. I would be like, I didn't lie. I was literally truthful, and they gave me my money back, so. Love the mouthfeel on it. My only thought is, 100% rye. My only thought is, I almost think I like the JP Weiser's better because it was unique. I can get that rye flavor profile with a Bullet or like a Kentucky Owl or anything like that. I can get that in the United States. But I thought what this was offered something really unique and really uniquely Canadian, in my opinion. So Richie Z says, I've had Mist as a child, Seagram 7 as a teen. Wait, Canadian Miss as a child. Crown Royal and a few more, including J.P. Weiser's Dissertation and recently Guterheim's. I actually have Dissertation here. That'll be my final pour for the night. I'll revisit Dissertation for Richie because I really did like J.P. Weiser's from my experience with it so far. So, I mean, I probably prefer the 23-year-old J.P. Weiser's, honestly, because it's, first of all, it's Cask Strength. Second of all, it's 23 years freaking old. But also the Lot 40 Cask Strength. You know, honestly, I do want to... Okay, Richie, now that you say that, I'll make one little final thing. I do want to go back to the J.P. Weiser's Cask Strength to compare directly with the Lot 40 Cask Strength. I think the Lot 40 Cask Strength was better than the Alberta Premium Cask Strength. Both of them were very, very close. Honestly, side-by-side blind, I couldn't tell the difference. But I do want to revisit the J.P. Weiser's, and I'm going to pour 2 glasses. I have 2 glasses to compare them. Peter, sorry, what was your favorite? I'm not sure who you're responding to there. So, I have the J.P. Weiser's 23-year-old Cask Strength poured. Oh, that's your favorite. Okay. Yeah. I want to do a fair comparison. Yeah. So this is the J.P. Weiser's on the left. I don't know what this is. I'll finish it off. I don't know why I finished it off. It's the same thing I'm about to pour. This is a Lot 40 Cask Strength. This is going to be the moment where I decide which Canadian distillery. I assume they're called distilleries, right? I'm being super ignorant here. Most Canadian whiskeys blend other brands together, so I assume they're still distilleries, right? Correct me if I'm wrong by calling them distilleries. Oh, Peter, I know that. Don't worry. We'll get a whole episode on that one. We'll see. Which, by the way, Peter, I really do appreciate that. Thank you. So now I'm going to do a side-by-side with both J.P. Weiser's Cask Strength 23-year-old whiskey, 128.6 proof, side-by-side with Lot 40 Cask Strength 12-year-old whiskey, 110 proof. So we will start with the J.P. Weiser's because it's been a while. There's an odd, that metallic note's back. I honestly forgot how prevalent it was. It's like not even like a penny. It's almost like an alcohol rub, like a sanitized environment, like a freaking, I don't know what I'm saying, but like a hospital. You know what I'm saying there? It's a little bit of that. Richie, don't spoil it. JP should win. Donnie, good night. Sorry, yeah, I'm about to head out. Clifford. No, I'm going by the Monica name Cliffy. Hey, this is my final pour of the night. Don't worry. Okay. So, Richie says that JP should win. So, let's start with that one. On the nose, though, this is not great on the nose. It's super medicinal freaking ethanol. That drinks like... It doesn't drink like a 23-year-old bourbon, for sure. So I'll go back to my previous comment. It drinks like a rum, like an older rum. Is that weird? I get like those sweetness notes that I get on like a... To be fair, I have a Kirk and Sweeney 23-year-old. Now, this one is a 23-year-old as well. So, ironic? I don't know. But there's a little bit of that note, that rum sweetness that I've never gotten on like a U.S. bourbon. Yeah, I do dig it though. So let's try the Lot 40 Cask Strength. Oh, what's up? Oh my god, you guys are joining when I'm like in overtime and like way too drunk. Good to see you guys. Watch the replay because like I don't even know what I'm saying, but I'm comparing these two Cask Strength Canadian whiskeys, and I feel like I've never considered saying that because in America you can't get Cask Strength Canadian whiskey. So what's up, Scott? So yeah, okay, back to the Lot 40. Give my final thoughts. Oh, that's my final thoughts are Lot 40 if you're a big fan of rye whiskey. I'm a huge fan of rye whiskey, especially older, especially high proof. But I will say, thank you for noticing, Chris. I'm sorry. Peter sent me a bunch of Cask Strength whiskeys. I have 5 of them to review in front of you. I'm sorry. That's a hard choice, but I will say my final comment is if you're looking for. Ah, fuck it. I'm gonna do one final comparison for my own sake, okay? We're in overtime, right? Joe just gave me a super chat for overtime. If you guys want overtime for me to do one final comparison, either send me a super chat, hey, no, just kidding, or send me a thumbs up. I do want to do one final comparison while I'm doing Canadian whiskey. But I have one other thing in mind. Should drink more water though. Thumbs up, thank you. You're the only one that wants me to go into overtime. Okay. For you, I will do one final comparison. So, we determined that the Lot 40. Okay, that's true. We determined that Lot 40 was the equivalent of like an MGP rye, 100% rye whiskey. JP Weiser's is different. And that's I don't know if I made that point earlier. My point was if you're a fan of rye whiskey, go with the Lot 40. That screams rye whiskey no matter where in America you are. Canada or the US, that's rye whiskey. But if you want something unique and uniquely Canadian, I would say the JP Weiser's 23-year-old Cask Strength, fantastic. You're good, Brian. Okay, so my final comparison for the night. That was water. Don't worry. So I noticed that the Lot 40 and the Alberta Premium were both very rye forward. So I do want to say which one is my favorite. Yeah, so we're going to compare the Lot 40 and the Alberta Premium, both 100% rye whiskeys. According to Canada. I assume they're actually 100% rye whiskeys. I'm going to pick my favorite because why not? Yeah, Lot 40, I've heard so many good things about that. So I just had the Lot 40. Let's revisit the Alberta. My southern side is showing. So I'm mainly doing this for my own reference, honestly, because like I'm in the market for a Canadian whiskey, and I'm like, which one do I pick? So this is the determining factor. 100% he's only about 90% American. Okay, Joseph, you're confusing me. All right, so let's go for the Alberta Premium. Cheers. Let me look at the proof on this real quick. 130.2. You guys wonder why I'm drunk. Smells fantastic though. It's weird to say lots of corn notes on 100% rye whiskey, but as we previously learned, Canadian whiskey isn't always 100% accurate in their grains. Thank you. Joseph, stop fucking with me. That Alberta Premium, though. Yeah, Richie, I have a bottle of that. Actually, I think I may have finished it. But, no, I'm a big fan of Old Forester Rye for the price. It's fantastic. With the, like, American ryes, I'd probably go more for the Rittenhouse and the Pikesville. But I will say MGP Rye, the Dickel Rye, is one of my favorite mixers. So, yes, he is, Brandon. Okay. My final thoughts are comparing these two whiskeys. That's all. That's my whole goal for these last 5 minutes of this stream. Alberta Premium is better than I thought it was originally. The mouthfeel in that Alberta Premium is fantastic. Yeah, I'm digging that. Let's go to the Lot 40, which is older. This is a 12-year. Cheers. I don't know why I keep saying cheers. You guys are just watching me be like, what is this drunk guy doing? Final thoughts of the night. I honestly, this may be controversial, Peter, I don't know, but the Alberta Premium stands out a bit more than the Lot 40 Cask Strength. I know you guys are going to judge me. You're going to judge me, but I will say Alberta Premium is unique. It's a nice blend between like the lower rye content ryes with the 100% ryes. I think the Alberta Premium, honestly, I would buy a bottle of this. I would buy a bottle of both of them, honestly. So, yeah. Hey, blame Peter for this. I don't normally get this drunk on my streams, but like, there's some really good rye whiskeys. Overall message for the night: rye whiskey is incredible in Canada. Otherwise, like, if you're like, oh, Crown Royal and like Canadian Club, no. Yeah, hit up Peter if you want some Canadian whiskeys. But yeah, cheers, you guys. I'm ready for bed. Honestly, I'm ready for dinner. I haven't eaten yet. I do want to say though, don't dismiss Canadian whiskey based on what you have here in the United States. Honestly, Canadian Club, Crown Royal, none of it compares to these incredible samples from Peter. So, cheers to Peter. Have a wonderful night. And I will go eat Joseph. Cheers, you guys. Canadian whiskey is awesome. Check it out. All right. Bye, you guys.